I love that beat.
I do too.
It makes me want to twerk.
I believe it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Welcome to another episode of This is Motherhood Unfiltered. Alright, so this season that I'm in, anyways, the season, yeah, that's right, series, that's what I was trying to say, series, my bad, is all about education. So, homeschool, private school, charter school, which is still underneath the private school umbrella. Mm-hmm. Back it up. Hey y'all, this is my sister-in-law. Hi. So rude. Where are my manners? Ooh, no home training. I'm just kidding. I love you, mom and dad. You guys trained me very well. But education. So, how many kids do you have?
One.
Boy, girl.
A boy. My all. My everything. My king.
And how old is this king?
He is 10.
And his name really is King.
It is. King Josiah.
10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, tell us about your journey with education for him.
Well, it started out in public school.
Okay.
Because why not?
Right.
You know,
it's right up the street.
It is. Like, it was around the corner. Easy drop off.
Super convenient.
I was the parent that didn't trust the bus, so I was there. I was the first mom in the parking lot.
Oh, you the one in the car line first?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I had snacks because I was there. And that it was fine. No complaints. He had great teachers.
Oh, listen, that's a blessing in itself.
Yeah. He has to go to speech, so he took the speech in school, and then we also had speech done privately, and it was fine. I had no complaints. And then COVID hit. And then COVID hit.
Damn COVID.
Yeah.
Shut the whole
But no. It opened my eyes to, and remember when your kids were in homeschool?
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
oh, I could never.
Why
would you do that?
Why does she have this kid? How are they socializing?
Yep. Yeah. Have you
weird.
met my kids?
I know.
They are a little weird, but
but that's okay. That's okay.
But they socialize.
Oh, especially that middle one.
Oh, yeah.
That middle one. No filter.
God bless his heart.
I love them. But
so COVID shifted your eyes.
It did. We of course had to switch. That's my dog, if y'all can hear that. My dog is crying for attention.
Listen, Unfiltered Life. You're a mom pup.
I am. A dog mom.
There it is.
Dog mom. And he is whining like a baby. But yeah, COVID hit, and we had to homeschool him, and it was virtual, and those poor teachers that had to deal with the technology, and
technology fails
on top of fails, and then the kids that could sit there and do their work and be okay with it, and then the kids that couldn't.
Yeah.
And I was there to see it all and see what it was that they were teaching and not teaching my son, and that was like the beginning. That was the beginning of seeing.
Here, let's light this match.
Yeah. And I was like, ooh. This isn't gonna work.
So, after COVID, did you send him back to school? So, you kept him from COVID on.
Right.
So, he was in public school with COVID.
Yes, he was in public school.
Okay.
So they did it, when COVID hit, they did it that you can when they started letting people come back, they changed it so that you could either let your kid come back or you could stay virtual. And I chose to stay virtual and continue with their programming, their path. Okay. And he hated it. I never realized he hated the things he was doing in school. Because for one, like I said, he has speech. Okay. And so he was being left behind when it came to reading, when it came to anything with literature. He was being left behind. And so it clicked. That's why he was coming home with like these immaculate dinosaur drawings on the back of his papers. I mean, detailed. But then I flipped the paper over and there was nothing on it. And I'm trying to figure out, well, buddy, why isn't it finished? And, you know, I couldn't get a straight answer. But then I started to see it. They were zooming past it, and my son was being left behind.
Dang. That's hard.
Yeah, it really sucks. And then
But when you have a classroom full of like
kids that are
25,
on way different
25
levels.
different, 20-ish,
Mhm.
25-ish kids,
Mhm.
and then you have them, some are not doing well,
Yeah.
some are doing pretty decent,
Yeah.
but then some are like excelling, but it's hard to like keep up with all of them. But as a teacher, you're required to attempt to multitask 25
They're
different
amazing.
different ways. Like,
All you teachers are amazing
it's
human beings
nuts,
to be able to juggle all that.
but then not respected too
I
for
can't.
for that ability to even manage all of that.
Right.
Like that's just insane.
Yeah.
So that sparked the homeschool path.
Had no idea what I was doing.
But do you think? Well,
I still
you
feel like
even
I
said
have no
it.
idea what I'm doing.
I mean, do we ever have any idea what we're
Probably
doing?
not. I feel like I say, is there a time? There's just somebody out there just like knows, like they're on this path and they like know that they're doing the right thing and they're not like failing their kid. Is there going to be a time that I get to a point where I'm like, okay,
I
I'm
wish.
good. Like I've succeeded.
When they're older.
I hope. I think about how your parents raised y'all,
Yeah.
and your mom, and I'm always like, I hope that my kids turn out like that. Like whatever she
I know
did
she was struggling with me.
with you, yeah. But you
You
still came out.
You could have hesitated.
They no need.
You
If people
coulda-
know
you
you,
coulda hesitated.
they know that they struggled with you. But you still came out this bubbly
You could have hesitated
person.
just a little bit.
No, I know. You gave her hell. I'm telling you.
Right, but I'm pretty sure. And I ask her all the time. I'm like, Mom, like, how did you do it?
Yeah.
How did you? She was like, a whole lot of prayer.
Yeah.
A whole lot of prayer, and I'm like, that's it. Like, I feel like there's like a secret sauce.
Right,
Like
something.
there's got to be
little
something.
handbook.
Like where is it? Where did you bury it? Can you leave it in the will?
I think maybe I should like write down all my successes for the next generation of,
That's cute.
right?
Yeah.
All my
Yeah.
little.
But not just the successes, but also
the
like
failures.
but let them know the failures,
Yeah.
right? Like this isn't all sunshine and rainbows. Like this shit fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Like sucks.
So Josiah we got Josiah a neuropsychology test done
Okay.
to see what is his delay.
Okay.
And it told us everything, but also said that with the things that I knew that he succeeded in, he's at grade level, and that was my like, okay, okay, maybe something is clicking.
yeah.
Here.
Okay. But do you feel like COVID was despite the deaths and all of that, being the repercussions of COVID and being forced to homeschool, are you grateful for that? Because do you think you would have noticed it without that? Like,
I don't think so. I think that
I feel like that's hard because like there are parents who have to work, right? Their whole 9 to 5 or 8 to whatever their schedule is, and they are forced to send their kids to school, right?
Right. That want to homeschool,
right?
Because I don't think that homeschooling is necessarily for everybody.
No, it's not.
You know,
it does take a special. I think it's a special type of person, right? But I also feel like we are conditioned to like take our kids, send them to school, do the clock in 9 to 8, 7 to 3,
right,
or whatever, and then come home, and then they're most of the time they're doing homework for 2 to 3 hours,
even though they were at school
for 7 to 3 or 7 to 2 or whatever it is. And I think that's, and I know we've been doing it for generations on generations or whatever, but like there's got to be a better way, like in my humble opinion, because I've homeschooled, private school.
Yeah, you've
Ariana
dabbled in all of it.
Yeah,
Charter too, right?
Ariana's been to public school for just a wee bit of time, and then I did do charter as well.
Yeah,
but like homeschool is my favorite. Like though my kids at times like stress me the flip out.
My God.
Like,
It's
and
way different when you're a teacher.
Ooh, yeah.
It's way different when you're a teacher.
Yeah. And it also has me learning that they are all different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, it is not a cookie cutter.
No.
Each one of your
I bet.
kids. Like, it's not. They are all very, very different, and they all learn differently.
Yeah.
Like, I am learning that as well, which is hard because I'm like, oh, well, this is gonna be easy.
That's
right?
what I did too.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. Raising these kids and schooling these kids is hard, but you know, my oldest got to the point where she was like, like she had a taste of all of it, and she was like, public is like the one that I haven't tasted, like for real. And I'm like, okay.
So now she's dabbled in it all over it. Has she said that whether she wants to switch back? If she,
she
like the boys
definitely
want to be homeschooled, right?
Yeah.
Has she said it?
No.
No.
Hell no.
Yeah.
She likes
you.
but she's not though.
She doesn't like people.
No, which is so weird. Like I thought that she would want to do homeschool and get it done and out of the way, but nah. I think low key she really do like people, but she don't like people.
Yeah.
Like she likes being around, but I also think she wants the high school experience.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I
and
like
like,
high school.
Yeah, you know, sometimes I think that for him too. Like he's
Yeah.
he's gonna miss prom and he's gonna miss homecoming and.
But see, homeschool has come a long way though, because there are a lot of groups. There's one in Tampa called I think it's called Cap It, and they host high school graduations.
Oh, I love that. For
like
homeschoolers.
Yes. So I don't know like how it works. I think you might have to like register or whatever, but like they put on high school graduations, but there's also organizations that do proms and dances and stuff. Like there's a homeschool association down in Tampa as well.
I don't doubt that. Okay.
And you know they put on proms for homeschool students.
I like that.
And I'm like, dang, that. So I think that it used to be like, oh well, they kind of would miss out on that stuff, but now it's come such a long way that like they're not missing out.
That's true.
On anything.
That's true. Like he can now say that he has best friends, and he's never stepped out.
Yeah.
He's never. We have so many homeschool groups that we're a part of to do their like regular meetups. I'm not really a co-op person. I'm more like let him go out and play kind of person. But
and that's my next question. So, I'm sorry, let me cut you off. But when you homeschool him, is it like a tradition? Because there are many styles,
and I've done all. What do you want to know?
There are many styles. You know, you do have your Florida virtual, right?
Hate it.
And
what else? What else do you want to know?
You have your like, you know, the people that actually have like, you know, your planned out walks and schedule. Like
did that. Yeah.
Through the day, like this is your math time, this is your science time, this is your English time, and then you have your unschoolers.
That is I. That's where I'm at now. You can say no more because I don't know that I've done anything else other than that. But I did Florida virtual because I felt like for one, it's very structured. So I don't like super knock it. It's structured for people who first start out. Yeah. But again, you know, if it's super intensive in a subject that your kid is not particularly good with, or it's at a lower pace. Like my son is very advanced in math and science, so I have him doing 4th to 5th grade level stuff with science and math. And he's in what grade? He's in 5th, I guess now. He'll be going in 5th, but I also teach year round now too. That's something that I changed up.
So I like that idea, right? Like I'm going back to homeschooling for my oldest son. And I told him, I was like, when you start, like we're going year round. Like you'll have your like, you know, your 2-week breaks or whatever, and you'll have time off, but like
2 months off.
2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
No, because I feel like I feel like when they do that, like the kids turn their brains off. Yeah, it's like
they do.
Well, but it's also they've associated school to just being in that building instead of using the world as their school, like learning wherever they go.
Right.
Instead, like so, yeah.
I heard
like,
you sent them to the store, to the grocery store, and they came back with a bunch of snacks.
Oh yeah, yeah. Apparently, we need to go over budgeting.
Yeah. Add that to your curriculum.
Yeah, need to add that shit to my curriculum. But like, I feel like it's such a. But when I know that when I was so confused, so I haven't homeschooled them at least 4 years now. So it's come quite a long way. But like, it's different because lost my train of thought. Well,
I was going to ask you, is it, I mean, when you were doing it, did you have a bunch of social groups and stuff like that?
We didn't have co-ops and stuff. Yeah. Like, because we started in Virginia. So when we started in Virginia, the kids were doing homeschool through somebody else. And she had like a school set up like in her dining room, in her living room. Like, yeah. So she had like a chalkboard and stuff set up, like, but her and her husband, girl, on effing point.
Wow.
Like, these kids were doing mental math, like, at like, freaking like 2nd grade, 3rd grade, like they were teaching them the states and the capitals in like 1st grade and kindergarten, and they were and then the way that they taught them the alphabet, like I really liked it because when kids get to that elemental P, they zoom past it, right? So they teach them there are 26 letters in the alphabet starting with A, B, C. Wow. So they're saying them like that instead of A, B, instead of singing it. It's like elemental P, and it's like what letters are you saying?
Interesting.
And then when it comes to math, they taught them touch points on their number. So like if you have a number 1, there's 1 touch point. If you have a number 2, then there's 1 here and 1 here. So when they're seeing it visually they're seeing the dots.
Wow.
So mentally they can count up the dots.
They're like digging in and teaching them and not just producing them.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes, girl. You definitely talking to the right one. I definitely understood that.
That's
like,
great.
And I loved it. Like, and then they were still teaching them cursive and like
they don't
computer.
teach now.
Well, he's in private school, but they're teaching him cursive in private school. But like, I don't know. Like, okay, so when you started, you were at Florida Virtual, and now you have come
to the unschoolers.
to the unschoolers. Yeah. Are you a part of the Florida Unschoolers?
I am, because I don't want to have to write a letter and check in with the state every month. I don't want to have to get him tested every year because they're telling me to. You know, I do it because I need to know how I can teach him. It's a little bit different for him because he has that speech delay. And I love it. I love being able to teach him what I don't think he would have been taught in school. Yeah. Especially when it comes to Black studies, when it comes to African American studies. That is something that I did not personally learn until college. And
now they can't teach it in
college. It's up to us, and whatever it is that you feel is important to teach your child, it's up to you. And I don't know that I would have been able to see that if I was
in tunnel vision and sending them off to, and working the 9 to 5 like schedule. Right. It's nuts. Like, so do you follow a curriculum at all as an unschooler, or what does a typical unschool day look like for you?
So right now I have it set up where he knocks out his core things, his language arts, his math, his science, his social studies, and then I'll go back and touch on the things that he's struggling with. Okay. And then there's so many things out there. There's this thing called 1,000 hours. So you track going outside for 1,000 hours. Huh. But they also have their own curriculum because he's such a nature kid. So
look who his mom is.
Gotta love Mother Earth.
Yeah. You'd be out there with his shoes off, being grounded.
Grounded. And I want him to be, so that's what I love about homeschooling, because I get to make and create this little human being that I want to go off in the world. And I get to nurture the things that make his little heart happy. And so we do learn a lot more about why that dung beetle is rolling up dung and why this particular bird likes this particular thing.
Less from you.
That's the stuff that he loves. And we can talk about all the dinosaurs and all the Cretaceous era, this and that. And
expect nothing less.
We read, you know. We read. He goes to speech, but we're mostly talking about animals.
Because that's...
I love it. I love it when we'll see an animal and he's like, oh, I can't help it. I'm like, yeah. Wait, have you seen that video of the little girl who pulls out?
Yes!
If that's not my daughter. If that's with all that, their pocket full of worms.
When I tell you that video had me cracking up because she was like asking her, do you have a worm in your pocket? She goes, yes. Yeah. The fact that you maneuvered all the worms out of your pocket to pull one worm out.
I cannot believe it.
Yo, and then she went to go pick up her stuff like that was it.
Yeah. Like, I'm just not going to say nothing about these other 30 worms I got in one pocket, another 50 I got in another pocket.
When she opened up her hand and both hands were full of worms, I died.
Took me out.
I died. I was like, first of all,
y'all
look like y'all was in a parking lot. Where did you find all those worms?
Yeah.
She over there like Cinderella calling out the screw in the worms.
That would be my kid. That will be my kid.
You know how Cinderella be talking to the birds when they be coming in? She's like, worms, worms, and they're like, yes, jump in my pocket.
I love it. But so my friend found this post, this meme, and it said something like, homeschool kids are weird. And then it said your kid would be weird too if they were allowed to be exactly who they're supposed to be. And
because we're not all supposed to be cookie cutters.
We're not.
I like that.
I do too.
But I've taught the kids that everybody's a little weird.
They
so I'll be
are,
like, oh my god, you're so weird. And it's like, so are you.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're right.
I was like, I don't want you to be nobody. It's
I was like, I am weird. I'm like, you seen some of the stuff I do? Boy, I am.
You do stuff and I'm like, I've never met anybody like you. Oh.
I am a bit of a weirdo, but it's okay. I love it. Would you ever go back? You answered that so quick.
Never. I would rather continue to struggle and like be terrified that I'm failing him than than send him back and know that I'm failing him.
Okay.
I think I might be failing him with homeschooling, but if I send him back, I know. And again, I don't think that is for everybody, but I know.
But it's what works for you.
My son, and I know what he needs, and I know he would not. And that's another thing that I got to see. I got to see what speech in the public school was like, and seeing him with 6 other kids, with some kids that were way higher, and this is a 30-minute session with 6 other kids, and some
6
kids
other
that
kids
were
in a 30-minute session
on way different levels of what they needed done.
And that's probably lack of resources for the school, and it's not. It's not the teacher's fault,
it's not,
you know, but
it's not at all.
It's just.
But I am so grateful, and I'm so blessed to be in a position that I can do that.
Yeah.
You know,
because not everybody can.
They can't.
Right.
And especially for the ones that want to, and they can't. And I'm just blessed that I can. Yeah.
I sit down and I've had these conversations with Brian before when it comes to like homeschooling, and Amari will probably never step foot in a school house, and that's only because like I do believe that there are things that we should be teaching them to set them up for success. Right? Like I feel like back when I was in school, like we had an option to take home ec, like we had an option to like take like auto mechanics or carpentry or like, and all of those things they have kind of sucked out of the school system. And I think that those are things that like, you know, need to that would be great for them to learn to help them in the future. Like
not only that, money management could be on there.
Money management, like gardening, like all of like to create food.
How to be like a person.
Self-sufficient.
That's it.
That's the word.
That's you always say
Self-
that public school.
Self-sufficient.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, like, and especially when it comes to like other subjects like science and like I want my kids to learn definitely about their bodies. Like,
that's so important.
like, yes,
And not learn from their friends.
yeah, like the bones and all that is like basics when they're like younger, right? But the older they get into like the anatomy and the physiology. So like you can like, okay, that sounds a little off, or you're able to like detect things in your body.
But that is like, there are people that are so disconnected. I feel like,
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
as people, we are go, eat whatever we have real fast, and are so disconnected from our bodies. I love that. I'm not so much curriculum, girl.
Yeah, because I noticed, so the last time I was here, I took, you had like these little containers with like, not subjects, yeah.
Topics.
There it is, topics. And I took a picture of it because I'm like, yo, like if they, I think I started to research it, but I stopped. But like finding that curriculum or those topics, like, because I think one of them is like this, you know, the body. And because at that age, like, it's more hands-on, right? And I think Aaron had mentioned, which is my 8-year-old, he mentioned like he wants to do more hands-on, like he worms that way, apparently. Swear my word. I promise this is water. I swear. But like he learns better hands-on, so like, you know, and he is a visual person, so like him, like, oh, you telling him something, like you're gonna have to like break that down,
or just
like
making him sit and read it, or whatever.
Yeah, no, he's not gonna obtain it that way. But I feel like all of my boys will end up being homeschooled. So I'm like, he already asked me, and I'm like,
wait, asked you because he wants to?
He asked me.
Cool.
The end of the school year, last day of school, he asked me.
Oh yeah, I asked him in the car. I asked him.
What
and he said he doesn't want to go back because he doesn't like driving in the car. And I was like, well, what about your friends? And it was like, that was like nothing. Like, I'll be fine.
Yeah, I think he'll make friends wherever he goes.
I'm
like,
sure of it.
Like, and now he's so cute because like, you know, when they're younger, they, you know, they'll meet kids on the playground and they're just like, oh, that was my friend. Really, what's your friend's name?
You know? I don't know.
So now he has started to, hey kid in the Pokemon shirt, what's your name? Like, so now he'll ask them what their name is.
Good.
And
That's great.
At least you're not like, I don't know, just, I love you so much, kid. But he's learning it, you know, and I feel like being told to sit down and stop talking and like sit here for however many hours, and you have little moments of like where you can talk or whatever, but it's not, I don't know. I want to set them up for success. And yes, I went to public school, and my parents did, you know, an awesome job and the best that they could with what they had. But like, I want to teach them money management. Yes, I am struggling with money currently. However, it's always easier for us to know what to do and just not do it. Right. So I can teach other people to do it.
Yeah, and especially your kid, because you obviously only want them to succeed.
I only want them to succeed. Yeah. But like budgeting and like, Lord Jesus, I need to learn how to budget.
But you know who you can get to teach them.
Yeah.
Shalana could them a whole.
Absolutely. I've had books and then give them to her because I'm like, well, I think you're gonna read this faster than I am. But like learning how to do that, so when, you know, it does come to purchasing a home, or just when if they choose to go to college, like you're learning how to budget your paycheck to get the most out of your money and to save and to do all that stuff.
You have no idea how to do yourself,
right?
Because it's never taught,
right? Which is like
and it's crazy because parents have to send their kids to school for all these hours because they have to work. They have to work, and they, don't have a choice. But then they're also expected to teach their kids this.
Yeah.
But where's the time?
Yeah.
Our society is built on go, and so where's the time to be able to teach our kids how to do that? And
but there are some women, there are some parents in general. I mean, there are some banging ass fathers too. That they teach them on the go. Like there's people that have that system where it's like between one thing to the next thing, they're studying their flashcards, they're doing their whatever in the car, and it's like, oh,
so you're not gonna tell me happy birthday?
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to
Thank you.
ya.
It's my birthday.
It's so cute. She's like, wait, no. Yeah, it's after midnight.
Yeah, so this is how our school day goes, because we both have ADHD. So one time we're talking about one thing and it like goes, but it's fine. We get it done.
You get it done. You come back, and that's the beautiful thing about it. Like, and that's what I love about it. So now I'm like, with thinking about Eric going back in, I'm like,
what grade are you in?
He's going into 8th grade.
Okay.
But I'm like trying to create this and I'm like,
what, like
a whole schedule, and I'm like,
too.
that's just giving me anxiety.
Oh my gosh, that's exactly what it did.
I'm like,
we were literally doing school from 8 to 3.
Yeah, no.
And I had our Google Voice set up it's 10 o'clock, it's time to do math. I'm like, okay, buddy, we gotta. I had a whole planner set. I had the Google Doc up, and I was like, whoa. It was too much.
No, ma'am.
It was too much. Mm-mm. And there were so many homeschool Facebook groups and people who are there to help you. And one of the things that somebody said was, you have to stop for a second. You have to
step back.
You really do.
You gotta step back.
You're wired to thinking that the school day is from 8 to 3, but when you think about it, those kids are doing other things. Those teachers are stopping in between. They're not sitting there for them 8 hours just doing schoolwork. And that's what I thought. And thought that's what I had to do. And it's miserable. Yeah.
I was mentally draining.
Yeah.
I'm like, what else can we work on? Of course, your core subjects, but then when it comes to homeschooling, getting a diploma in the county that we live in, if you homeschool, I started to freak out because
they don't get one.
Because it says that you don't get it. I was like, wait, what? Which is why I looked up CAPIT, because I'm like, wait, so how does that work? But if you are after a diploma through your county, they have specific subjects that you have to complete. Like for history, you have to do U.S. history. You have to do a certain one. With math, you have to do algebra, you have to do geometry, and whatever. But I feel like with homeschool, you can do consumer math or like your sciences. There's a wide variety of topics when it comes to science. And different kids are into different things. Like King is into dinosaurs and animals, and Aaron, my 8-year-old, is into. He's a STEM kid, so he likes, we did a camp this summer, and he's into the robots and the programming and all of them. Girl, he was so excited.
Thank you. It's my birthday.
He loved it. Yeah. Loved it. And I'm just like, okay, we gotta figure this out. We've gotta make it a thing. And even when it comes to PE, I had them try out a what was it? It was a Muay Thai class.
Oh, that's
and
fun.
they loved it.
That's fun.
They absolutely loved it.
So they didn't have to just go out and kick a softball or whatever.
It was
kick a softball. How to kick a softball?
I know, and I was gonna let you have it.
Good Lord. No, it's midnight, okay? It's midnight.
I was gonna let you have it.
Good Lord.
I was gonna keep on rolling. But no, and he does love his soccer. He loves soccer too, and you know, the 14-year-old is into baseball now, but like they have that freedom to explore that. So like when it comes to homeschooling, like the 14-year-old, he's now able to umpire because and that means
for
that
real?
yeah, at 14 he can umpire as long as he takes the courses and stuff to be an umpire.
That's
but
amazing.
because he loves baseball so much, like he can do that, and then he's learning. So when he plays like his games, like he's more aware. So he's learning the ins and outs of like of all of it. So I'm like, oh, you're cute. I love you.
Yeah.
But you would not go back. Is there anything right now that you wish that you could do more of, or are you content? Like I'm doing, like we're at our own pace. Like I know, for me, like I was thinking about how I can incorporate like field trips, right? Like where do I want you to go? What do I want you to learn? Like,
well, I
do
can
you have
tell
any
you
places
now,
that?
July, August, September is out for us.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We go nowhere. We literally hover inside, and then it rains, and then it will drop the temperature down to like a good 80.
Yeah.
No, but and then also we like to hide from the other kids. And then when they go back to school and we have a whole museum to ourselves.
Yeah, that does make a difference, because then you can see everything.
Right, and then they
You can see it all.
also will have like all these homeschool days, like at the skating rink. They have
that's
like
cute.
50% off for homeschoolers,
Okay.
and so there's all kinds of stuff like that. But to be honest, the way we're set up, these summer breaks is when we do the most of our work because it is hot.
Yeah,
and
so
nobody
you're
wants to
saying
get out in that heat.
That part, facts.
And there is a bunch of people, a bunch of tourists, people on vacation that are out and about. So then when they go back to school, they start cooling down, then that's when we can start exploring the museums. Or
why?
Like the preserves will usually host a get our group together, and so the one that we did with one of our homeschool groups is we went to one of the estuaries. The kids had to walk around and find different animals that live in an estuary.
That's cute.
They got like these homemade nets, and they were out there like fishing, and these little kids were just out there fishing for these things, and they would find like a little crab, and they'd freak out and be so happy, and then they'd scream because they couldn't touch them. I mean, it was like a whole thing. It's a whole thing, but it's endless. It's endless.
So, your homeschool group or groups, are you guys minorities in those groups, or did you find a group that that we're gonna jump into that because I know that when we started like way back, and then when we moved here to Florida, there were not a lot of melanated groups. And when I say a lot, I mean none.
Yeah, I'm sure of it.
Like, so that is important.
It is. I don't know why it feels weird to talk about it, but it really is important.
It's important. Like, and I feel that way when it comes to, schools as well, right?
Okay.
If we're telling our kids like, you can be anything you want to be or whatever, and they look around and there's no teachers or educators that look like that. Like, is that putting something subconsciously in their mind, feeling like they can't? That's an unobtainable goal for them. Yeah. So, did you find, or do you find?
So the group that I was just talking about at the estuary, that was with my brown skin group. Okay. So it was nothing but brown skin babies.
I love that.
Out there in the water, fishing for creatures, testing the salinity of the water. Okay. So my first homeschool group, that's my group. You know, I adore them. Though it's only a couple of melanated people. There's a couple though. Yeah, like I met my best friend out there.
There's a sweet spot for the first.
Those are my people. There's a couple of mixed kids out there, so it's not completely. Hey, puppy. It's not completely. We're still a dot, but it's not horrid.
Okay.
And they're great people. Luckily, I don't know if you've noticed when you had your kids.
That camera is very,
Please
very
don't.
hanging up.
Hey, please don't let the dog eat this big old ring light. Hey, baby, I'm so happy. Happy birthday to me. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I love you. Let me get the fat one. Hello, puppy. Happy birthday to me. Okay. The ring. Okay. Bye, babies.
First group.
Yeah, the kids are so kind.
Mm.
The homeschool kids are just kind. We never had like any squabbles or people arguing over the swing, or they were just nice to each other and polite to adults. But so they were great. And then,
do you feel like do you think, from your personal opinion, do you think that kids being nice to adults and their communication with them could be attributed to the fact that homeschool kids communicate with like adults on a different level than an authoritative level?
oh gosh, I honestly never thought of it like that. But right? Does not
That
make
makes
sense,
it
though,
makes
right?
sense to me, because I think about that, because if they go into a classroom, they are often not talked to or treated as an equal.
Right.
It's always like, I'm the teacher, you're the student.
Right.
Like, but in a homeschool setting, even in co-ops or homeschool meetups, there are adults interacting with
Right.
and having conversations
Yes.
with other kids.
That's exactly how it is too. And there was actually one kid in my group that I almost
It just
think
makes
I
you
might
look
not
at
be
him.
smart enough.
It
for
makes you
his
look at kids and
conversations.
be like,
Yeah.
huh,
Right.
I think I would fail at that
You
that
know
show.
what I'm
Are
saying?
you smarter than
You
a
know
fifth
what I'm
grader?
saying?
Because I would not do well.
I just sometimes you just like nod and smile because he's talking like about quantum physics. It sounds like. I'm serious. I can't wait for her to listen to this podcast and she's gonna know I'm talking. You know who I'm talking about. Y'all know who I'm talking about. He is just really intelligent and speaks to you in a manner that's just like wow.
Yeah.
But
that makes me think.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, like, do people think that? What about the socialization? Have you talked to
a homeschool kid?
Like, don't get me wrong. There are some that are, they are a little off, but there are some that are in school that are a little off too. How are you? What are people's measurement of like? Oh well, what about their socialization? Like, I feel like being treated like an equal and having a conversation.
Right.
Now, that's another thing as far as like teachers, because there are teachers that do come in and they're just like they want to get to know you. They want to know who you are.
But they're so far in between.
They are, but I also feel like that creates like a lasting relationship with your students, and that's like you're that teacher that they remember like years and years down the road. Like I had a teacher back when I was like when we were in Alabama, like so elementary school. House Nick was her name. Like, but we shared the same birthday.
Oh.
And every year, like, she would, like, call or bring me something, like, because it was during the summer, so before summer break, she would bring me, like, a little treat or a little whatever. And I'm like, oh, I love you. And so that was a PE teacher, Mr. Daughtery. I'm pronouncing that.
What is it?
Daughtery.
What was his? What did he teach?
It's a great question.
We ran into one of y'all's teachers in Virginia, which is weird, right?
Really?
Yeah. Hey, Shawana.
Yeah.
Who was that teacher we ran into in Virginia? Remember we were sitting at that restaurant and he was like sitting.
It wasn't Daughtery, was it?
No.
Oh, okay. Mr. Daughtery.
Daughtery?
Yeah.
No, I lose my name.
And I loved it when they when I was in elementary school and they were all at my elementary school and then they moved to my middle school too, and I was like, are you guys following me?
Perfect.
Are you following me?
When you have a teacher that you actually love and care for.
Yeah.
That's all. Like I've had elementary. I had a couple elementary school teachers like that, but then like middle school and high school was not like that.
No. The one high school that I remember is Master Chief King.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
That
I have one like that. Okay.
Yeah.
I have one like that.
What?
Master Spears.
Oh, okay.
Like
Okay.
that is like, and like when we would go back to visit randomly, like I would go to see him.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But he's the only one that I remember from like high school. Like I don't remember any of the, and Coach Snow, but that was softball.
Yeah, no.
Like, but
so I think that's a great point. I think that's why they are able to speak to us like that.
It
But,
it does make you think and wonder, because I do feel like there is like this level of respect that is given because of the exchange, right? And it does make you think.
Yeah.
It's like like okay,
Yeah.
so.
But yeah, that is my main group. Is my diverse but not diverse.
The first group, your first love.
And then I got approached by a group of ladies at the skating rink and told me about this black homeschool group, and I was like, okay, why not?
Say
Why
love.
not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people that look like me,
Right.
And I can relate. I mean,
yeah. There's nothing. I don't feel like there's anything that compares. We're still looking for a melanated group, brown skin group.
Oh my god.
And because we haven't found that yet in Tampa, but there's one that I came across. It's like the Village or something like that. But when you go to click on like their locations, like it doesn't come up yet. It has you like fill out like a contact form. I'm still like looking.
There's one. It's probably right in the middle of us. It's like the Central Black Homeschoolers of Central Florida, and when I tell you they have these kids doing everything, like in a radio station.
So I wonder if it's like in Orlando. Is it Orlando?
I think it is. Yeah. And they have them
in the middle
everywhere. And I mean, not my homeschool. Again, it's hot.
Right.
So we don't really do much right now, but when we do,
summertime.
Not with it. I decline. We will not be there. We won't be there.
But we inside.
But yeah.
You should have led with that.
But so the leader actually is from Ghana, and so she's beautiful.
Okay.
She's a beautiful being. But she'll teach like a class about the food and the cuisine, the cuisine there and stuff like that. So that's great. But yeah, it's always everywhere we go. And when I say diverse, I don't necessarily mean it has to be all brown skinned kids.
Right.
I just want my son to see something, some other culture,
right? And
anything we ever are partake in, that's the first thing I always look at. I want him to see everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I love both our groups. I truly do.
I love that you have both of those. Like, and I love watching you do this. Like, especially watching you transition. Like from like him being in school, you looking at me like I don't know how you do that. Yeah. To like now, I'm over here like.
It's time to go back. It's time to go back.
I want to go back. And like, ooh, that's a good one. So I have another question. So with the way and the increase in like school shootings, did that also influence your, no, you're not going back?
That is.
Like.
That was probably like, I almost top. I mean, of course his education was seriously important, but now I'm almost terrified to send him. And it's not even like the security. Like I can go to a school that has like locked doors. Some of these schools had locked doors. Yeah. And I mean, so that was a big one. And then also me realizing the time that I was missing from him. And that's time that I'm not going to get back. And I really enjoy spending my time with him. Yeah. Even though I never get a break.
So we'll segue this real quick. So if he's with you all the time, right? Because you homeschool, and we won't be trusting a lot of people with our children,
Mm-hmm.
which is an interesting concept to me because we don't trust a lot of people with our kids, but then we'll send them to a brand new school.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, and some people won't even
And like leave.
go. Yeah, and some people won't go to like open house to meet the teachers,
Mm-mm.
or maybe they can't. But anyways, that's what I was gonna say. What I was gonna say is, how you get sexy time?
Oof.
You got to schedule that? No spontaneity?
Well, no. His bedtime's 7:30. Yes, it is still light outside, and yes, when the time changed, she had an issue with that. Close the blinds, baby. It's time for bed. That's what time it is. And then I also
7:30.
1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
mm-hmm. And then the
30.
whatever that is.
I don't know what that is. That's why I just
Yeah.
said 30.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
But and not even sexy time. Just quiet and me and like let me turn my brain off for a second. Let me read time.
Oh, you
All
read
of
for
those
fun.
things. Girl, yes. Like that was part of my birthday gift. I bought like $100 worth of books, and I cannot wait to dive into all of them.
Really?
Yeah.
You just got
Two
really,
story.
You just got
Two
really
story
excited.
bookstore. I couldn't ask for anything better. 2 stories.
You just got hella excited.
So excited.
Where did you find a 2-story bookstore?
Shawana, downtown. And it has a little coffee shop with it. I mean, books from the ceiling, floor to the ceiling.
Okay, Belle.
Oh. That's exactly how I feel. I'm literally reading 2 books right now.
That's what I just saw you doing, like,
Oh,
like
yeah.
in a dress.
I was.
Like holding on to the little, you know how they had like the old school
Oh.
one
If I
where
could
they
have a
had the
library
ladder
like that, if
and
I
you just
could-
like
Flowing.
I gotta find like books that I'm interested in, right? Like I feel like I've always like
Sex book, probably.
don't do that. Listen, Zane.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Reading them in high school, I had no business reading them in high school.
Facts. That's why I was a fan.
Yeah.
Anyways, I've got to find, because I've always done like, you know, the religious books or the self-help books or and
Those are good too, though.
but they good if you finish it.
Okay, there's that. So yeah, maybe you should find a book
I
that
think
will
I
keep
think
your
the
interest.
first book that I actually completely finished, like completely, was Fervent by Priscilla Shire, which was about prayer. It was off of her movie for War Room, right? And called The Wild Ones. And I was like, I want to go back and read Wild Ones again because I was just like,
I
dang.
love books that suck you in like that.
But like, I want to change it up. I want to like storyline, or like, but I can't do Zane though. The way my imagination is set up, baby. I'll be
Yeah.
She's a he. I don't even know what the author is, but the great author. I'm over
I
here.
think I still have some too.
No, I'm good. I'm over here getting itchy. like, whoo! Oh. New.
I'm still fly girl.
Yeah.
My one.
I gotta find something like because kids mimic you, like, you know. And if I'm constantly Netflix and chilling, you know, I'll binge watch SWAT. Then you know I can sit down and read a chapter or 2 in a book, but I want to find that type that will suck me in.
Yeah, it's
like,
out there.
I wanna, like,
It's out there.
you know, like.
I want to. That's why I don't. You know, my son hates reading, and so I don't force it on him. But I do let him see that I'm picking up a book, and I do read to him chapter books so he can dive into a story, and just hopes that he falls in love. But if he doesn't, whatever, he'll be out there digging up some bones somewhere, and he loves that too. So I'm cool with that. But ultimately, I just want him to do whatever makes his heart happy. I don't want him to be mass produced into another worker and just clocking in and out and then 9 to 5 like I had to do and hated it. You know, I want him to find his passion, and I don't want him to be afraid to follow his passion. And I love that I have my little melanin group that's doing things that not a lot of melanated people do, because he's going to be that kid.
Yeah.
You know, we went to the
Mhm.
marina, and there was a young black girl out there, and I was like, "Good to see you." And she was like, "Yeah, I have to represent." And my brother's the same way. He is an ecologist, and there's
what?
an ecologist.
Okay.
There's not many black ecologists out there, and so that's why I love having my little melanated group, so that my boy can be around other kids that are doing things that we're not
doing
normally
different, like doing different
things.
Because when we homeschooled, one of the times when we were here in Tampa, like Eric wanted to do archery.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
and that that is definitely
he enjoyed it, like, and did his first comp, and I'm like, okay, like you did real good.
The confidence that you have to have to do that.
Like, and he did, and I'm like, good job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd love for him to get back into it, but I feel like that might have been just a season, because now it's baseball is his life. Like, that boy could eat, breathe, sleep baseball, you know?
You get to
like
let them dabble and
Yeah.
find whatever it is.
Yeah, and I love that. Like, I love that they get to explore
Mhm.
what their interests are,
Mhm.
and they're able to do that now.
Yeah.
And it's
Josiah's
great.
PE was tennis for a while, and then it got hot, and that was like
he was like, nope.
no. So now it's swim.
Okay.
It's swimming.
Aaron wanted to do at one point he wanted to do cross country. But
Aaron? Really?
Okay, so he wanted to do soccer, but at the school that he's at, they don't do soccer until 4th grade with the school. So we found a city league for him to be in. But I told him, I was like, if you do cross country, like, it conditions you because you're always running or whatever, right? Baby, let me tell you, that boy he was struggling, like there's a whole different, like,
to be a cross country
running intentionally,
you know,
like not out of like getting
somebody being chasing. I literally said this like last week, like.
But I do want to do like a 5K, or like I even want to do. And I know my friend is gonna get me, but because she was like, oh, we should do a marathon or a half marathon. I said, why would we do that? But now I'm like, why wouldn't we do that?
Right? I know. I do make fun of the like yesterday we saw somebody running. Like, why? Why are you?
Like,
and it's hot outside, right?
And it's hot
but
outside.
That would be. I mean,
I'm like, dang. And I want to buy some roller skates. Like, listen,
oh my gosh, I have some roller skates.
And now,
let's do a derby together,
girl. I started looking up derbies.
I wanted to do that.
Like, I started looking up derbies. I'm like, is there a ball in there? Or they just push each other?
For like
oh, hell no.
You can do it.
Oh, I can do it.
See you doing that.
I could do it until I hit the deck, and I get then I get mad. But I'm gonna go to my first roller derby brawl.
Oh my goodness. What's it called? Is it called a brawl?
I think it's called a brawl.
Oh,
like a brawl. I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that derby head. Oh, yeah, derby head.
You're gonna get some emails like,
please don't.
Don't know what you're talking about.
But it's next. I don't know when it is. I think it's next weekend. Yeah, I think it's next weekend. But yeah, I'm excited to go. I just want to go and say that I experienced it.
Yeah.
But like, it's interesting how like your phone picks up on everything that you're saying, because like when I said that I was like looking for skates, or when I started looking for skates, like Instagram started pulling up like skate groups and stuff, and I'm like, oh man, that's really cool. Except it's in California. Hello, can we like right, like New Jersey, DC? That's not helping me,
man.
Who can skate all the way over there,
man?
Like, but you know, you see people like, you know, doing their little angle turns and all this. And I'm like, this looks so cute.
And like stopping and
yeah,
I'm
like, oh, so I wanna. But my friend was like, where are you gonna skate at? She's like, 'cause it's too hot outside.
It is. You gotta listen.
She was like,
nothing happening.
how about we figure out where we're gonna skate first before we buy the skate?
At the park, at the tennis court.
It's hot.
I'm saying in October.
So her point is why we gotta buy the skates now.
Oh yeah, you might as well. October, really in.
But right now they 50% off.
Oh well, they're just gonna have to sit until October. Jump on it now.
I'm like, oh, but my house got tile in it, so I can be skating in my kitchen, cooking food.
Girl,
And
I
bust
don't
my
feel
ass.
like that is the time to
No,
bust out the skates as a new up and coming skater.
As a newbie?
Yeah.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm. That might not. We're just gonna buy them and then let them sit until October. And
No,
then
I
you're
gotta
gonna
break
go to
them
the
in
tennis-
by October.
No, you're gonna go to the tennis court in October or after it rains. After it rains, I feel like it's nice and cool,
Okay.
and then you can do it.
I don't know. I don't know. And then I'm like, ooh, I want these all black ones, and then
Of
I'll
course.
change out the wheels and do teal or like a glitter or something. I'm over here like making my skates. And then there's a company, and then I found out there's a company in Tampa that does custom ones instead of me going to shipping it to California, because I have these all black vans, and they can put the wheels on the bottom of your van.
Really?
Yes. And then I found this bougie, because, you know, Instagram be listening, bougie ass company,
Where
where
you tag me in?
probably, but I don't know. But they have this, whatever the mechanism is, you can slide it off of your shoes, and then slide the wheels and stuff onto it and skate in your regular shoes.
Like adult Heelys.
Yeah, but you can take it off
Wow.
and carry it.
Wow.
I was like,
That's neat.
cool. Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
I love you
I love this
so
for
much.
you.
Like,
so you.
girl, you are like my biggest cheerleader. I love you so much.
So
Like,
you.
I'm gonna rock it. We gonna rock it. We gonna
Mhm.
rock it and see
Mhm.
where it goes.
Bar.
We don't see where it goes. Like,
Bar. Shalana's like, you really think she's gonna get she's gonna be able to do something with this podcast? I was like, I think she can do something with everything.
yeah,
Literally
you
everything.
are definitely. Well, this has been another episode of This Is Motherhood Unfiltered. Make sure you turn on your notifications and subscribe. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Did I say YouTube? YouTube.
Say it again.
YouTube. Subscribe, notifications, all of that. Peace.
Bye.